Hey everyone, welcome to Tuesday's edition of I Hate It Here. My name is Erica.
I'm Marissa.
And welcome aboard the Hot Mess Express.
Yes.
All aboard. Welcome to the Hot Mess Express. Choo choo.
Look at us. We got it right on the first try. How fucking exciting. High five for that, because the last couple times we've tried that, it's been a fucking disaster.
Yes.
So anyhow, everyone, welcome. Thank you for taking time out of your day to tune into our shenanigans.
Yes.
Our smack talk.
Our vent sesh.
Our vent sesh. Yes. That being said, I mean, we loved having Flood call in last week. So if you want to throw in your 2 cents and you want to request to call in and vent with us, spiral with us, we are more than happy to have you on the line. So feel free, request to call in. So, Marissa, I think we started this year a hot mess, right? Because our first episode was a disaster. We fucking couldn't
get it together.
We were, we had shit like
all over the place.
Yeah, we weren't plugged in correctly and all this other nonsense, right, into the laptop. But we were originally going to start with like reintroducing ourselves to everybody.
Yes, here on
Station Head,
because I don't think we've had like a proper introduction of who we are, what we do, all of that.
No, even in October, we just rolled into this.
We're like,
November into this thing, and we're just like, fuck it, like no introductions. We just started talking shit like we always do, right? So that being said, let's pretend it's January 2nd and it's our first show. So, want to give you all some background on how I Hate It Here came to be. How Marissa and I met. It was 2017. Marissa and I used to work for a company that we refer to in our stories as the facility. We call it the facility because it was a fucking insane asylum.
True to its name. I mean,
it was crazy. The people we worked with were crazy. The situations that happened to us working there were absolutely
even crazier.
Insane. Even crazier. I mean, guys, we had like high highs to low lows working there, from like $10,000-$12,000 dinners to getting sexually harassed by executives.
All in one night.
That was a different night, because the night we got sexually harassed was the next night.
No, we were
or was it a different time? No, because that was
no. The dinner was a different time, but I was like, we were on a high because we were at this like luxurious baseball box and, you know, living the high dream, and then the low was very low.
It was very low. So let's start. Okay, so honestly, the first time that I even met Marissa, we were Marissa came into the company, or into the facility, I should say, because they had just let go of a ton of people.
Yes.
And by a ton, I mean like 4 or 5. But we were a little office. That was like half the team, because it was a small office, right? And the reason they let these people go was due to a pyramid scheme that they got themselves into.
Yes.
Right? One of those like cash grabbing type of things, right? And because these people were so like intertwined into each other's lives, they would use the same hairdresser, the same nail tech, blah, blah, blah. And they got those people involved in this scheme, in this money scheme. So, of course, because it's a scheme, those people did not like recover their money or get the money that they were told
it just went bad
they were going to get. So they reported them to corporate
asylum
for the facility. They called the HR. I don't even know how they got the number, how they reported them, but they figured it out, called them, ratted them all out. So there was this huge investigation.
Yep.
So within that investigation, they let go of 4 of them? 3 of them.
I think it was about 4 of them.
No, 3 of them.
3, and the other one had just left. No?
The 3, well, no, they stayed. Well, one got let go because of her performance. Like, she denied,
right.
and she did like get let go because of her performance. It was pretty bad. And then one lied and denied, and she kept her job by the skin of her teeth because she was such a good liar. But then we found out later on that, oh fuck, she was totally a part of this scandalous. Anyhow, so Marissa comes in, and I'm like stuck in this crazy place all by myself. I've been there 2 months.
I think you had been there like a month.
No, I came on in October. 3 months. I was there 3 months. when Marissa came in, and they're like, train her. And I'm like, train her on what? Like, I don't know what the position she came in to do. I didn't know that position.
Right.
So I'm like, the only thing I can teach her how to do is like these little things like that I know how, like what this person was doing.
Right.
But if not, like, since they're just kind of like heading off on me, come on, let's hang out. I'll teach you my job. So then we were, I think it was like by midday, we were already like talking with our eyes.
Yeah.
Like just
whole conversations
just stare at each other, because she would look at me and be like, what the fuck? And I would look at her like, this is it, girl. Like, this is a crazy place. So anyhow, oh my God. And then to top it off, that day that I had to train her is when I found out that I am allergic to aspirin.
Yes.
I had taken some Midol that morning.
Mm-hmm.
And
came in looking like Kylie Jenner.
And all of a sudden, no, I came in looking normal. I started getting major cramps at work. And then I took the Midol and then ended up looking like fucking Kylie Jenner. Like my lips were all puffed out. Like I looked like a crazy person. So that was our initial introduction. Yeah. And then after that, we just like became good friends, because you're the only one who understood that place was crazy.
Right.
Which it did. And like we told you earlier, it was, we had high highs. Like we were really like, the part of that like facility, that umbrella that we were under, really had a high budget and like spending, or like they were able to get away with spending a little more than like the other parts, right?
Right.
Because they had the fun, like they were wining and dining clients and and partners and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So luckily for Marissa and I, we were able to
partake of those. Yeah.
And like we had to host a lot of them, and I mean, so
put them together. Yeah.
Put them together. So like I mentioned earlier, yes, there were times that we were sitting at expensive fucking steakhouses having $1,000 Wagyu each.
Yes.
With like $600 bottles of wine each. Mm-hmm. Like it was just ridiculous. But then, I mean, of course,
the lows
were very low. And then we were sexually harassed twice.
Mm-hmm.
We were verbally attacked multiple times in that job. and then we eventually left and got a job with corporate.
Yes.
Which is like the second job that we both started working at together, that we call corporate. And that was a startup.
Yeah.
So you want to tell them a little bit about corporate, since I...
Yeah, absolutely. So again, we left the facility. We were recruited into corporate, which was a startup. We were both coming into a team that we had worked with, but
we worked with them at the facility.
But some of the people there were people that worked at the facility as well, but we weren't working day to day with them. Like we were, just casually working here and there. I would work more with them, I would say, than you did. But they were all, I mean, again, I'm not on a day-to-day basis with them, right? Like I see them twice a week, or like be on calls, and it's totally different than working with them every day. So for corporate, we actually had to move
to
Houston, because we're not originally from Houston. We are from El Paso, Texas, which is the last bit of Texas going west. And we had to relocate to Houston for corporate, which we did back in 2019. We started with corporate. It was, I think I quickly branched off into a different part of the company. You did as well. You were more on the marketing side of things. I was more on kind of an ops role. Mm-hmm. And we were just kind of going about. I mean, we were still working with the same groups of people for the most part.
When we came on originally, though, we were like state-based.
Yes, we
got brought on to
open this market. Yeah. To open the market, because it was only the market, and then it would be the state. So it was a very geographic concentrated. You're working with the people that are also here to launch the market, right? Because it was a startup.
But we quickly ditched those people and started working for like central corporate teams.
Yep.
We no longer had to deal with these the local team.
But we found out the hard way that not everything that shines is gold, guys. Not everything that shines is gold. These people that were like super nice, and again, we we had a different idea of them. We very quickly found out that they were complete opposite, and it was
totally incompetent.
It was
beyond incompetent. Like, I was shocked.
And then it's a startup, guys. So it's not like
you can't hide your flaws.
You can, because you're doing like 5 people's work all at once, right? Everybody was, but also it's a startup, so it's not like we had like a office and like an established, our main office. We're like a satellite market office that is being built because we look like we were straight one of those pop-up
boiler rooms.
Like, no, seriously, our
temp office.
Our temp office had, it straight looked like a closet. And then when you walked in there, it looked janky. It looked sketchy as fuck. We had like those picnic tables, like the plastic tables, locked out there, like extension cords running through the whole joint, boxes upon boxes. It looked like a pop-up shop.
It did. It really did. It was super sketchy. I mean, like I mentioned, luckily you and I, because once again, it's a startup.
Yes.
So you can't hide. You can't hide your flaws. But also, when you shine, right?
Yes.
Like, everybody takes notice. Mm-hmm. So luckily for you and I, we were probably the 2 most competent people in the Houston office. Mm-hmm. So that's why we got pulled into central into like
the central roles,
central corporation teams. And but then with that came wearing 30 hats instead of 5 hats. And then we were promised these roles with more stock. Mm-hmm. More of this, more of that, and then
with the opportunity for growth. And advancement. And let me tell you,
like the whole, and we fell for it, guys. We fell for it hardcore. Like we're family. Right now, we don't have titles, but we're gonna grow into it. We're here to help you grow. Blah blah blah. Oh, fuck to the no. A year and a half into this nonsense,
titles, all of a sudden, titles.
They start hiring people with titles. They start hiring people with more pay. You're still working 30 people's jobs. It was just fucking nuts.
It was nuts.
Nonstop. I was there for 4 years.
Yes.
And I was already actively looking elsewhere. Because I had a change in management and my manager.
There was a restructure.
There was a restructure in the marketing team, and the person that I started reporting to was a complete fucking monster. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here. And she was also thinking, I need to get her the fuck out of here. So when I popped into what I thought was going to be my yearly review, I had a 3-minute sesh with her, and then boop, here comes HR, and they're like, well, we got to let you know that we're terming your position, and good luck and goodbye, and here's your servant's package, and nice knowing you.
Yep.
Those motherfuckers. I'm like, not so mad that they let me go, because like I said, I was actively looking, but I was more like, you're quitting me? I was going to quit you. Like, I was going to break up with you.
Yes.
Like, don't break up with me, motherfucker. Which was good, because let me tell you guys, for the last week and a half, I think my eye was twitching non-stop for like a whole week and a half. Like, my left eye was just like twitching.
Out of control, dude.
With all the stress. I thought I was going to have an aneurysm. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And then Marissa just got tired of their shit and left too. So now we are in better places, more relaxed. And anyhow, that's how we got to know each other and create this trauma bond.
Since the start.
Since
inception,
So we, like, Marissa's now like a sister. Totally embedded in my family. I'm sorry about that, Marissa. I have to apologize for them and the hot mess that they are. But we started should we take a break and then come back on how we started I Hate It Here, or do I just roll into it real quick because it's just a quick
let's keep going.
Okay, so we had always joked, because of all the crazy stories that we had, about starting a podcast, right? Because we think we're pretty funny, like we make each other laugh, and we were like, fuck yeah, we're funny, we should do a podcast. And then we figured out that doing a podcast is a lot of work. Fuck that, we're lazy. And we do not want to have to sit there and edit a podcast for each app, right? Because each app has different requirements.
Right.
And at that point, also, when we started this, we were still at corporate. So we didn't have fucking time to do
No,
like
guys,
editing.
I was working like 10 hours a day minimum. Eric, you were working probably around
7, 8.
No, you were working around 8, 9.
I mean,
full, like no breaks, no nothing, guys, because we worked from home. But we were working from home. But working from home, you don't always. Like, we were so busy that you didn't have time to take a lunch.
No, you were on your computer all fucking day in meetings all day, every day. Meetings about meetings about meetings about meetings.
Yeah. So we were just not in a place to be able to give that type of time to a podcast and really kind of put the time and effort into it.
Yeah. So then it just so happened that my cousin was visiting, and we were out having dinner, and we were telling him some of these stories, and he was like, oh my God, you guys should do a podcast. And we're like, what the fuck? We've always talked about that, but we're lazy. We don't want to do it, blah, blah, blah. So then he had just started AMP.
Yeah.
It was barely going to go live.
It hadn't even gone live yet.
No, he was about to do his first show the following week or some shit like that, right? So he gave us a code, because back then you needed a code to get into AMP.
It was invite only.
And then, so you got the code, the invite, you waited a couple days, you got into the app. And then, so April of 2022, we started I Hate It Here, and we haven't looked back since.
Yes.
We've always had the show concept. We haven't changed it.
No. We've played around with different types and different kind of spin-ups and different types of show that we bring in, but the concept has always been around
workplace horror stories until I got termed and our attorney made us take off workplace off every title and started adding life horror stories so that I can keep my servants package and stock. So there we go. There's a long story.
Yes.
We should have talked about this on January 2nd, but of course we're slackers.
But because this is January 2nd 2.0.
2.0, yes.
We just wanted to do a quick introduction. I know we have a lot of
new listeners
here that don't know necessarily how you and I met and how this kind of came about.
Yes, exactly. I mean, and even people from some of our friends from AMP, we never even talked about it in AMP towards the end. Like, we were just
kind of rolling in and
doing our thing and never talked about it. So anyhow, that is our villain origin story.
Yes.
Of I Hate It Here. And now we've got I Hate It Here. We've got Songs We Hate. We've got Icy Beautiful Helen on there. Our Queen Helen with The Morning After. So doing fun stuff with this.
Yes, definitely.
And we appreciate you all tapping in.
And joining on for the ride. I mean, if you would have told us back in April when we first started that we were going to have people that genuinely listen to our show and we're in for our shenanigans through all of the technical difficulties, through all of the craziness that we put you guys through. My God.
Politically incorrect shit that comes out of our mouth.
Yes. All the crazy fucking shit that we do. I mean, y'all are the real MVPs because y'all have stuck around.
So thank you for that. And that being said, let's go to a song and then we will come back and jump into a story.
All right, let's do it. Let's jump into a song and we'll be right back.
All right, guys, we are back, and I didn't realize how much fucking talking we did. I looked at the time and I was like, what the fuck?
Know.
We ate up that entire first half.
I know.
Okay, but let's keep it old school, right? We're talking about how we started here in the workplace, and I was actually going to start with a life horror story, but fuck it, let's keep it old school.
Let's go back to our originals.
Yes, because what we did or maybe we did when we started the podcast, it was only and always just workplace stuff.
Horror stories, yes.
Right? And then once our attorney told us we gotta change it up, that's when we started adding different stories. Anyhow, so let's start with a workplace horror story. Story goes, I work in research at a university. Due to our schedules and proximity, I work most often with a peer named Sarah. Due to restaffing, we're almost on every project together. Normally, Sarah and I get along just fine. We're not grabbing lunch together, but until a few months ago, I had nothing bad to say about her. Okay, so they work well, or they used to work well. They weren't besties, but
they work well with
compatible coworkers, right? Due to restaffing, oh no, hold on, I'm sorry. I had nothing bad to say. Okay. She is a dependable, knowledgeable employee with a sunny disposition. Although she's overly apologetic and generally anxious, I have chalked this up to a personality quirk. Okay, so she's anxious and overly apologetic. So she's like, okay, that's...
Could be worse. Yeah.
Right? A few months ago, Sarah asked to speak to me and our supervisor, Emily, privately about some concerns she had. Sarah then sat down with me and Emily and brought forward her concerns. She felt as if I was trying to undermine her position and assert my authority on her.
Oh?
Ooh, she didn't even fucking...
address it with him or that person.
The person who wrote in, they were like, we're fucking going straight
to the boss.
Yep. The reasons she gave are below with some context. So the first bullet point is, we work on projects together, but certain parts of the project are usually taken care of by only one of us, just due to habit. For example, one person may naturally fall into the habit of taking care of the shipping because they do it most often. Most of the time with other coworkers, this isn't an issue. I see it as work that needs to be done, so I'll do it gladly. Sarah feels that I am taking work away from her by doing this. I suggested we talk about our tasks daily so we may split them up together. But Sarah said she is not assertive enough to voice which parts of the project she would prefer to work on.
Well, then why are you complaining?
So, what the fuck, Sarah? If you're not going to advocate for yourself, then why are we bitching to the fucking boss?
Either you're pissed or you get off the pot. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, why are you bringing this to the boss's attention? And then you're like, oh, but I don't feel like I can strongly advocate and split this up and have this conversation. Well, then what do you want?
Go fuck off, Sarah. Anyhow, at the university, our job titles changed, so they were more uniform/less confusing. Although I have the same licensure and knowledge as my other coworkers, I have a less advanced degree, so my job title changed only slightly to reflect everyone else's. I reflected the new title change in my email signature. Sarah told Emily in this meeting that me changing my email signature confused her because she thought congratulations were in order, meaning I received the more advanced degree they share. She also felt this is a way of asserting my authority, even though she and I simply share the same title now. Okay, so Sarah's crazy and now coming up with like combative issues in her head.
Well, these are all issues that are in her head, clearly.
Yeah. When Sarah performed, okay, so we're on 3. When Sarah performs a task on a project, I thank her. Before then, I felt it was just polite. Sarah told us that by thanking her, I am acting as a supervisor and undermining her authority. In her words, it's both of our projects, and I don't want you thanking me for doing my job.
Well, bitch, fuck you then.
Sarah,
I will never say thank you
Sarah,
again.
Go fuck yourself. Fuck you, fuck your dog, fuck your grandma, fuck your entire family, is how I'm feeling about you right now.
What do you want me to say? Fuck off, Sarah? You should have done that anyway? Like, I can be nice. See, this is why you can be nice to me.
Exactly. Sometimes someone who works on a project will send a Slack message, email, or phone call without including everyone else who is on the project. Usually this is just a simple question such as, do you know where the binder is? I did forget to CC her on an email to a client, which led to the meeting in the first place. But this was not done intentionally. Again, Sarah felt undermined by me because she wasn't aware the communication happened. I apologized during the meeting and told her it was not intentional, but she was insistent that it was, or else it wouldn't have happened. Because Sarah's fucking perfect, evidently, with her advanced degree and her...
Ma'am, if you have an advanced degree and you and I are doing the same job, then that degree, you can wipe your ass with it. You and I have the same title. It really sounds like she's just pissed off because she has an advanced degree and he doesn't, and they're in the same place.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. This meeting went on for an hour and a half before I had to start my workday. This happened first thing in the morning. So I did not get to share my side of the story, and we were unable to really come to a solution. Every solution Emily gave for the problem was shot down by Sarah except one. Sarah would like Emily to send out a detailed weekly schedule before she wants all roles and responsibilities to be dictated by her actual supervisor. She also wants to be included in on every conversation we have about a project, whether it's an email, Slack message, in-person conversation, or phone call. What the fuck, Sarah? Get the fuck out of here. Who has time for that? Her boss doesn't have time to fucking babysit and pass out responsibilities either. Be a fucking adult, Sarah. God, I hate Sarah. I'm so mad right now.
Fuck Sarah.
Oh my God.
Advanced degree.
Fuck Sarah's.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yep.
We need to make a shirt that says #fuck Sarah, #fuck Corey, and #fuck Tom, like all the people we hate.
Yes.
Okay, anyhow. I spoke with Emily privately the next day, expressing my confusion about the meeting the day before. I also asked her as a manager if there was anything I needed to improve on, as apparently Sarah has a mental list. Emily said she didn't feel like I did anything wrong and agreed the meeting was accusatory and off base, but ultimately felt that she could only concede to Sarah's demands to keep the peace. Emily also expressed during the meeting that she had asked our grand boss for a demotion because she does not like the responsibility of managing, but grand boss denied her request. So even Emily does not want to deal with this bullshit and is like, I'd rather be fucking demoted.
Well, fuck yeah.
Than have to deal with this fucking craziness.
Right?
And they're like, no, fuck you, bitch. Like, you cannot be demoted.
That's
either demoted or get the fuck out, right?
Yeah.
So now we have a weekly meeting where Emily lists out every responsibility and who is responsible for it. For example, one week I might be taking care of shipping, maintenance, and temperature checks, while Sarah might take care of testing and client contact. Any change in the quote-unquote schedule must go through Emily. Additionally, Sarah is on every call, email, Slack message pertaining to a project, regardless of whether it pertains to her role or not. Who has that kind of fucking time to be included in all these conversations?
But if she's not a person of authority, meaning she's not leading the team, she's not the ones making the decision, why the fuck are they allowing her to dictate how things are going to get done?
Oh, that I don't understand.
Like, bitch, no, I don't have time for this. You don't like it, there's a fucking door.
Like, just because I'm your manager doesn't mean I have to sit here and fucking micromanage you because you can't be an adult.
And figure this shit out yourselves. Yeah. Just because you can't advocate, just because you can't advocate for yourself, then shut the fuck up. Like, that's what I need you to do right now.
I feel like I'm in micromanaging hell. I feel like I can't have a private conversation with a coworker without Sarah finding out and becoming upset. I have tried to stop saying thank you, but occasionally I slip up. I hate feeling like I have to police my words in this way. I also hate now that it seems like every move I make must go through Emily. For example, I recently started working on a portion of the project I realized was delegated to Sarah for the week. I called Sarah to ask how she wanted me to proceed, and Sarah said, well, since you're already halfway done, you might as well finish it, but we'll switch next week. The task I was referring to was taking a box to our FedEx drop-off point in the building for shipping.
Oh, fuck no.
That is so fucking petty.
No.
I fucking hate Sarah. I know I've said it plenty of times, guys, but
I'm gonna throw in that fucking box in her face, be like, you fucking go take it, bitch.
Our other coworkers hate the micromanaging as well, but feel powerless to stop it. We have all worked for years naturally filling in on tasks that need to be performed until recently. Because of Emily's interest in keeping the peace and disinterest in managing, she feels as if this is the only solution. I have no other supervisors to turn to except our grand boss, who I have spoken to half a dozen times in my few years of working there, so I don't feel like I should be bringing this to her. I also don't feel like HR is necessary to rope in, as this feels like a personal conflict. No, bitch, you should have roped in HR after the fucking initial meeting.
Exactly.
90% of my job is wonderful, and before this, I was sure I would stay in this job for years, if not decades. Now, though, I am considering resignation because the micromanaging is making me miserable. I don't know what to do and would love some guidance.
You need to go talk to HR and the grand boss and just be like, look, Emily's not getting her shit. She's not figuring this shit out. I can't be micromanaged. It's not fair for the rest of the team.
The entire team is suffering.
To suffer because this one bitch is sitting there pouting.
Because she's so fucking insecure and inadequate to speak
with her fucking advanced degree that she can't
communicate.
That she can't fucking communicate. Then you clearly need to go back to school and learn some more communication skills. Because how can you not? And why are people advocating for work? I will never understand this. But you want to do the whole thing? Go for it.
Fuck yeah! You want more responsibility?
Take
it all. You do it all then.
Yes.
Fucking Sarah.
Absolutely.
Have at it. You want to go drop this off at FedEx? You go fucking do it.
Absolutely.
I will sit here and doom scroll on my phone. Thank you.
Fuck yeah. Why are people fucking advocating for more work? I don't get it. Give her all the petty shit. I'm petty. I'd be like, Sarah, I need to go get staples for my stapler. Can you go get them for me? Just want to make sure.
I mean,
because I need to staple this paper.
Not only is it completely irritating about like having to split the responsibilities, right?
Yeah.
But like having to why do you need to be involved in every fucking message, Sarah? You nosy, insecure motherfucker. Like I fucking get like a little like Teams like the little ding and I want to die.
I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
I have PTSD from the Slack.
Oh my
like
God.
That little knock. I hear it and my eye starts twitching all over again. Flashbacks. I do not want to be involved in any conversation, in any meeting, unless I have to do, like
it pertains to me doing something and a deliverable that I have to complete and turn in. If not, I don't give a fuck.
No, I don't give a fuck. Don't include me. I don't want to be included.
This is so stupid. Is it like her? Maybe it's like her first job or her like.
I don't know.
I don't know if she thinks that this is. I really think that the root of all of this is because she feels like she should be in a better spot because of her degree. Because if they
like she should have authority over the person that wrote in.
Exactly. Because she
had the advanced degree.
Exactly.
And so, like, once all the changes got made and she didn't
end up.
I mean, you want to be manager so bad. How about you and Emily swap places? And also, fuck you, Emily.
Fuck Emily.
For not being a better leader.
We're going to sit there and, I don't see how we can resolve it. Tell the bitch no.
Like, conceding to this bitch's craziness?
Whims?
No, I'm sorry. It would have been like, you know what, Sarah? This is fucking 2024, the 20th century, because I don't know when this letter was written.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a year, 2 years ago, whatever. But, Sarah...
Nobody got time for this, Sarah. Okay?
I don't have time to micromanage you. Be a fucking adult. Do your job. Learn to speak up for yourself. And stop being so, like, fucking insecure. Maybe you need to use some of these mental health benefits that we've got going on here.
Use your benefits, ma'am.
Use your benefits. You fucking cunt. Like... I mean, but Emily too, like, I'm so irritated. I would be so mad to have a boss like that.
Well, because, and this clearly, Emily should not be in a position of leadership. Like, that's clear as day. But the team also not speaking up and saying anything is only gonna, that's what they have allowed fucking Sarah to sit there and change everything on her whim, is because Emily's a pushover. And nobody's speaking up, so they're all having to go. What if Sarah wakes up tomorrow and be like, I want to know what everybody makes. I want to know when everybody takes breaks. I want to know, because I need to know. Emily's going to be like, yeah, sure. Like,
no, that's crazy.
That's insane.
You guys let us know in the chat.
Yes.
I know we're definitely not crazy on this one.
No.
Like, nobody's going to be siding with Sarah. I fucking know it. So put it in the chat, add your 2 cents. You want to call in and vent it out, call in.
Yes.
But all right, let's go to a song and we will be back.
All right. I hadn't heard that song in a while.
I know, that was a good pick, Marissa. I was jamming out.
You and I both. My Spotify now tells me what I listen to.
Oh, yeah. Mine too.
I was like, you will like this. And I was like, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
All right, Marissa. So what was in... First of all, let's apologize to Sarah.
Yes.
Who jumped into the show
right,
at the most inopportune time.
I know, just right when we were calling Sarah from the story a fucking bitch. So,
yes, not you, Sarah.
Not
we
you,
love
Sarah.
you, Sarah.
We love you, no, but not that, Sarah.
No. No.
She's a Sarah, you're a Sarah. But yeah, it looks like people are agreeing that she... Looks like Daydreamer says, give it back to the boss. The boy needs a spine and put Sarah in place, which we totally agree with. Helen says, super efficient people don't need to be micromanaged. 100%. People that know how to do their job and do their job don't need to be micromanaged or looping in everybody from the fucking team into every email. Daydreamer has a theory. He says, Sarah has daddy issues. And Rachel says, I have a more advanced degree than my boss. Who cares? Which is such an interesting take, and I'll tell you why. Helen says, Sarah got a degree in school because she showed up, not because she knows what she's doing. The privilege. Which, again, agreed. Funny going back to the advanced degree, having more advanced degrees. Mm-hmm. At corporate, we worked with a ton of people that that went to the Ivy League schools.
Ivy League schools.
And I just sat there and I went, how in the fuck did you go there? God has favorites, because let me tell you. And I ain't one of them.
And they were
the most dumbest people.
Imbeciles.
I mean, it was ridiculous. The shit that would come out of their mouths. I'd be like, how are you alive? How?
I mean, because all they used was corporate jargon.
Yes.
And that's why we always had meeting upon meeting upon meeting, because they would just talk themselves in circles and nothing ever got done.
Yeah. I think the last year that I was at corporate, I was like, well, that's a stupid idea. We're not going to do that.
Oh, my God. And even I was so irritated So when I was at corporate, mm-hmm. I was already looking, like I mentioned earlier, I was already looking elsewhere mm-hmm. for another position, right? Yeah. I was looking outside of corporate, but I was also looking within corporate.
Yes.
And there was
other teams.
And there was one position for this person that was Ivy League educated.
Yes. I mean, top of the top
Ivy Leagues. Like,
yeah. Like, crazy.
Yeah.
And I mean, I interviewed her when she came on, and I saw her resume.
So I'm like, okay, I kind of like started talking to her before everything happened, but then everything mm-hmm. happened, and then this person was on vacation for like 3 weeks, or I don't know, it just so happened that by the time she came back, I was already gone.
Yes.
And so I had to really reapply for this role or whatever, right?
As an external.
And as external person. It wasn't like an internal move. But the obstacles that she put in my on me just for this position was insane, because I knew the position. I worked with her team hand in hand before. So I knew what that position required. And
you've done this position before.
I had done that position before. And so I think we put it in, I put one of the Instagram posts.
Yeah.
Something like, I had that they made me do Ninja Warrior.
Oh my God.
They made me, they put me through Willy Wonka's factory just to make sure I wasn't tempted. Yeah. So she put me through this crazy nonsense.
A crazy test case.
Oh, that's what I was about to get to. Crazy, interview process for this position that I was beyond qualified for.
Yes.
And then the last step was she made me do a case study,
mm-hmm.
a data, it was more analytical, something that this role was never going to do.
Right.
Forecasting.
But yeah, go ahead.
Forecasting for a position, for responsibilities that this position
would never do,
wasn't even close to do.
Mm-hmm.
This person wasn't even gonna touch base with.
Right.
She would be fed that information.
Right.
It was just, so finally I did this case study, and she had the nerve to lucky me, right?
Yeah.
That I didn't go with her, but she put me through hell to just be I decided I don't want anybody that's too close to knowing this role, or some bullshit like that she told me.
Yeah, it was some crazy excuse that didn't even make sense. But the kicker to this, guys, is that she herself didn't know how to forecast. Because I would do it I would help. I was part of the team that would help do all of these things because she was not from the industry. She had never done a position like this before. She was new to the company and the industry. She came from a totally different background, but she had no idea how that position should be ran, what it should be doing. So I helped mold a lot of like what it should be doing. She gave you the case study.
And it was like an 8-hour, like it took like 8 hours to do this case study because then she also wanted me to put it on make like a presentation.
Yeah. Like if you're going into consulting or some bullshit. It was the craziest thing ever. But yeah,
fuck her and her Ivy League fucking degree, which
I mean,
she's still in the trenches up in that bitch, so fuck her.
Yeah.
God was on my side. The universe was on my side because now I'm at bigger, better. But fuck her and her stupid degree that got her nowhere.
But that's what I'm saying. We work with a ton of people that had major, like, advanced degrees from Ivy League schools, and there were some of the. I would always say, these people are some of the smartest, stupidest people I've ever met in my life. They're book smart and technically smart, but made absolutely no sense. And I'm just surprised how nobody's beating their ass until this day.
Well, after that case study, I wanted to go beat her ass.
Well, I'm still in.
I was gonna buy a plane flight, like a ticket over there, and like go beat her ass for this because it was so stupid.
Yeah.
And I don't even know why I did it. I should have told her to shove it up her ass.
Well, I mean, I think that we were in an environment where we felt like we needed to consistently prove ourselves, which is that corporate startup environment is where you feel like you consistently need to prove yourself. And once you get out of there, you're like, fuck this. I was way overqualified and way underpaid for everything that I was doing.
Way overqualified.
100%.
Fucking corporate. They can suck it.
They can.
Oh my God, look at the time. I was going to go into a story, but we don't have time. I don't
know. We'll save it for the next
for Thursday.
Yeah.
We'll save it for Thursday because it's kind of like a hot one.
Yeah.
It's like a mini story, but it's super like.
Okay.
Like it's a hot.
We need time.
Yeah, we need time to really like talk shit about this one.
Okay.
So let's go to a song. We'll come back. We'll quickly do some housekeeping and then we're done.
But in the chat, if you have anything that you want to share with us, anything that you want to vent about, or you want to request a call in and vent about something, feel free to do so. We'll be back. We're going to jump into a song, and then we'll be right back.
All right, guys, we are back. Oh my God, we are like in a dancey mood.
I know.
I think it has. Oh my! I was listening to OCupid today. He had a lunchtime show that he is bringing back to Station Head from AMP.
Yes,
it was so fun. It was a bunch of dance music, and I was at the gym at that time, and so I was on the treadmill. He totally got me through my workout. And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So thank you, Cupid. If you are not following him,
please do.
Please do. His shows are so fucking good.
So good.
And I was so happy to be at his show and see so many of our Latino friends that we missed from AMP.
I know.
I don't know how we lost them here at Station Head, but it's so great to see our little community again. I miss them and their great shows. So so make sure you're following each other, as a matter of fact.
Yes. Good segue.
Yes. And speaking of dancing, I see Sherry popped into the room. Yes. She is going to be doing her alternative dance party session tomorrow. She should do those every Wednesday on AMP and is now doing different shows. Her shows are fucking amazing because she's so knowledgeable in music.
Yes.
She's an actual journalist and does a lot of music reviews. So she knows what she's talking about. But her Wednesday dance parties were a big hit. And she's going to be doing one tomorrow, so make sure that you follow her and tune into it. Those were my favorite. I had cooking duties on Wednesdays.
Yeah,
and you would at my house, so I would always be jamming out while I was making dinner, listening to her, and sometimes burning the food. But I mean, you just scrape that shit off.
But I mean, it is what it is.
It is. So, all right, guys. So we are done with our show. Actually, we just have some quick housekeeping that we need to touch base on.
Yes.
This Sunday, I will be doing Ammo to Emo with Adam. So I'm so excited that we're doing that again. I know
back.
It is back.
I love it.
We did one in November, and then we didn't do it in December because everything got so crazy. So we're doing it. We're going back to doing it every other week, like we used to on AMP. And that is where we play one song that totally hypes you up, followed by the next song that totally brings you down.
I like to call it the roller coaster of emotions.
Yes, we like to fuck with your head. Because we have mental issues, Adam and myself.
So we all getting all up in that.
Yep, we're bringing you guys all down with us. So that is on Sunday. But next Tuesday, we have Mr. Pantone Black, who will be joining us here on Stationhead on our show, doing the first songs we hate here on Stationhead. Not in general, but here. It's the premiere debut here on Stationhead.
Yes.
And he is going to be our first guest host.
Yes.
So we're going to toss him the keys to the fucking Hot Mess Express.
And see where it goes.
And
But I'm so excited to see, because I feel like we get to know a lot about the person with the songs that they hate and the reasons why they hate them. You get to know someone so well. So I'm super, super excited about that.
Yes. And so while we have people who totally disagree with our choices,
I know.
The majority of the time, like Helen right now, saying so many good songs come out of the songs you hate. It's a playlist for a lot of people.
It's their jams.
They don't understand why we hate some of these songs. And I'm like, because it's the fucking worst. That's why.
And we're like, because fuck Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, I mean, Imagine Dragons is always our number one hate band. So I'm sorry if you love them. Daydreamer, Saint Chantel, and Gentry. Yes, that's their fucking show.
That is their show.
So
jam out.
They will, so we will have Mr. Pantone Black joining us for that on the 16th. Then on the 25th, we have our Queen Helen.
Yes.
Back on the scene, back reporting live on her dating shenanigans.
On the morning after.
Yes.
Yes.
So she is always our special guest on the morning after. She keeps us up to date. I love that she does little teasers throughout the month.
I know.
In different shows. And she's like, you will have to tune in when I'm with IHIH the morning after so you can get the full story. And her stories are so wild. I mean, we still can't get over Grandpa.
I was like, my eyes popped out of my head just like in the cartoons, guys. And I was like, hold up. We love it. We live through you, Helen. So
absolutely,
we love those stories.
And then, last but not least, on the 30th, we will be doing Name That Song.
Yes.
So that is our game where we play different versions of like contemporary songs.
Popular contemporary songs, yeah.
All instrumental versions only. And you all in the chat have to guess the song. And we give additional points if you can guess the name of the song and the artist.
Yes.
We tally it up. Winner gets a prize.
Yes.
So that is competitive as fuck.
Yes, it is.
I didn't realize how competitive it was going to get. I thought, first of all, the songs I thought were going to be super hard.
But the ones I thought were going to be super hard, they were getting them like nothing. And the ones that I was like, okay, these are going to go pretty fast, took a while. I was very surprised.
But like people were getting like competitive and mean in the chat. Like,
oh yeah.
Like
gloves were off.
Gloves were off in the chat. People were shit talking, and I know, like we just stirred up a whole bunch of trouble on that show, and I like it.
I love that.
It was fun. So, so that's what we have coming up, guys. We have all this listed on our Instagram.
Yes, everything's on our Instagram. So make sure you're following us. Our Instagram handle for I Hate It Here is
IHIHWHS.
And we do have a separate Instagram where we post content for the morning after that's more relationship focused.
Hot Mess.
Hot Mess Express, Hot Mess Dates, all of that.
Life Regrets.
Regrets.
Life Regrets.
And that handle is
at IHIHTMA. But you can also find all that in our Linktree bio.
Yes. So make sure you check us out there. And I think that's all.
That's it, guys.
That's it. That's all we have.
So,
no. I totally forgot, and I'm glad I remembered before we signed off. If you want to participate on Songs We Hate.
Oh, yes.
Or the morning after, if you want to if there's anything that you guys want to collaborate with us on, let us know. Hit us up on our DMs on Instagram, or if you want to have a story that you want to share or don't have Instagram, you can always email us, and our email is
IHIHWHS@gmail.com. That is also on our link tree.
Yes.
But also, I mean, we got away from encouraging people to call in just because we kept forgetting. Not that we didn't want the call-ins.
No.
We love the call-ins.
Yes.
So if you guys want to call into our show,
yes,
vent and spiral.
We love that.
We love to spiral with you guys. We love to be the biggest advocates for this.
Punching a bitch.
Revenge tactics is what we're known for. So always feel free to request to call in, or if you don't want to call in, we've had people actually write out their stories
for us to share
and send it, and we'll narrate it for you.
Yes, absolutely. So definitely let us know. But with that said, I think that
covers everything.
Yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate you all. We're looking forward to our upcoming collaborations with Mr. Pantone Black and Helen, and then obviously catching up with Adam Ramsey and Erica on Ammo to Emo. Thank you all so much, and have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll catch you in your shows.